Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, please? Good afternoon, good evening. So I'm going to drop the link on the comment section for those who want to join me live.
Wait a minute, Chooks. Is it the same Chooks that was with me this few minutes or hours ago?
Yes, it's the same.
Oh my goodness. I really love your tenacity and consistency.
Thank you, sir.
I actually have another class after this tableau. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for being here. It's an amazing day. I appreciate your understanding and patience. Like when we are now talking about change of time, basically that is just going to be for today and tomorrow. If we are not done for our tableau class tomorrow, we'll probably fix one last class or two, but we are still going to maintain 8 p.m. WAT. So thanks for your patience, and there's still some more room for you to join us live. So I'm going to drop the link again in the comment section so that you can check up. For those who came early, thanks so much for showing up on time. I tried to join and my video and audio wasn't connecting, so I had to refresh, and that took me like 3 more minutes. So thanks for being here on time. I'll be sharing my screen as soon as I have maybe two more people join me, two or three join me live. So far, how have you guys seen Tableau? How you seen Tableau so far? The whole journey of visual analytics. There's still
I,
more to learn.
I would say that okay, well, for some of us, we probably known some of these applications in the past,
Oh, nice.
and so I mean, are just simple users, not necessarily being able to interrogate anything.
Okay.
I probably fancied Tableau since 2003 or four.
Oh,
when
nice.
they were still struggling to win customers. And my first experience with them was with Unilever.
Okay.
When we were doing cybersecurity with Unilever in those days. And so, but well, they're really just like Salesforce. They've done a great job, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you get. So we applaud them. So
The
we're always
platform.
happy when we see something that struggles and then becomes a leader in the market, and that's what Tableau is today.
Yeah.
And it will interest people to know that Salesforce now is part of owners of Tableau.
Exactly, 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 exactly.
David,
Those guys.
I must commend you for not just the classes you're holding, but for the person you have become over the years in the global space. It may
Mm.
well be that many people here do not have not bothered to research you and where you've come from, what you've done in the past, and all that. And I can only hope that one day they will all be alive to see you as possibly an undersecretary of the United Nations. Just keep doing what you're
Amen.
doing. I'm happy about it. Thank you very much. Eh?
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. I was talking to some students this few hours ago about high level engagement, and I think Chooks, you were there in that section because we are trying to explore that section.
Yes, I
Yeah,
was. I was.
Chooks was there. That section I just started teaching today. We're trying to explore some AI tools that have been newly introduced into Microsoft 365, as well as newer versions of Excel. The thing is that you guys can spend 1 month right now to analyze and clean data. But for some of us that are already in tune with what is going on in the AI space, we just have to insert a few plugins here and there, work out a few navigations here and there, and in certain jobs that would take us a month, we are submitting it in 72 hours. And just like the Nigerian mechanic would probably tell you to come back by the end of the week to get your car. Meanwhile, all he needs to do is to hit somewhere or connect a wire somewhere. But he wants you to feel that the work is going to be a very tedious one. That's exactly how AI is making a lot of us feel. But um, why I'm saying this is because your prayers for me align with my hopes for everyone here. That the difference between those who are very successful, if we want to put success at on ladders, is just basically information. When people reach out to us and they begin to say things like, you guys have been hearing it now. Say things like, Chooks or Manachi or Meka, you don't forget me. Ever since you jackpa or ever since you got this new job, you are no longer chatting or talking or all that. I always do smile because most of the time, those who are really successful or in the path to success, the type of success they are hoping for, do not really have the time to keep tabs of those they have left behind. What has happened eventually is that because of their new connections and their new network and their new circle, they are gradually letting go, naturally speaking, of what ought to be the old or what is the old. So if you don't really are on the same page with some new friends, some some of your old friends, if you are not on the same page with them, you just see yourself slipped away into the future or still stagnant in the past. So thank you so much, Mr. Mecca. Our hope is that everyone here is connected to whatever it is that would kick them into life fully, the way we are all supposed to be as humans. So thanks. And so far, I'm glad that Excel, I'm glad that Tableau, rather, Tableau is becoming a little bit more interesting for some of you, like Chinwe. Israel, thank you very much. And that is because Tableau has become a quick to use tool. Okay, it's become a quick to use tool for a lot of companies. If they want to see a quick analysis, they have their data clean, but somehow something inside them want them to see what is going on. Like if you want to see if your business is progressing or not, you don't want to hear all that grammar of the data is clean or is not clean. You don't want to be in the depths of so much data cleaning and all that. All you need to do is can I have the data, right? You get it, send it to Tableau, and then with the knowledge I'm sharing with you guys, you'll be able to build on how you can bring up a better analysis. Now, the interesting thing about visual analytics in Tableau and what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is that you can also manipulate your visuals, especially for the visuals that are not yet existent or they are not yet in Tableau as it is. Some of us that have been doing our research, we play around our data a lot. Um, we've been able to get how we can manipulate some of our data or charts. So today I'm going to be taking you guys through the journey of creating a donut chart. So let me see. So I'm going to create two charts today. Let me share my screen. Thank you, Priscilla. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see.
Okay.
You can see.
Just give me a minute. Let me try to attend to the student who's trying to access training here. So yesterday, this is where we stopped. We've looked at revenue by states. We've looked at revenue by month. Okay, let's go through it again. Looked at revenue by states. All right, so everyone here knows how to navigate this. We've looked at revenue by month of the year. We've looked at revenue by age. We did this yesterday. And we also looked at quantity discount percents. So today, I'm not going to name this chart, but I already have a name from my end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the charts. This is our next task. This is task 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is task number 5, right? I'm not going to name these tasks. I'm simply going to visualize it And then at the end of the day, I'm going to ask you guys to name the chart. I want to see if you guys are conversant, familiar, and okay naming and understanding how you can name your charts. But in the process of working on these charts, I want you to look at this show me. You would see that there's nothing like donut chart. You all know what donut chart is, isn't it?
Yes,
Let
I
me
know what it is.
Okay, good. So let me see if I can do something quickly. Um, so insert all chart types. So donut. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. So this is an example of a donut chart. If I click on this and click on OK, anyway, I didn't highlight any data, so it's not going to show. Um, so it's better I just show you how it looks like when the data is there. Let me see. All right, so I have donuts. Donuts. Donut charts. All right. Confirm if you can see my screen, please. The images should come up in a.
We can see your screen, sir.
So this is an example of a donut chart. Can you
Mm.
see?
Yes.
Yeah. So we know for sure that Tableau does not have this feature, but we want to take this feature and insert it into Tableau. Let's go back to Tableau. If you look at our Tableau, that feature is not there. What we have is a pie chart. We don't have a donut chart. If we look at all of this, these are the chart names. So if I hover my mouse around each of them, you see the chart names here. Did you see that? So the first one is the text table. Second one is the what? Let me be sure you are following. First is the text table. Do we see have people here?
Yes, sir. We're still here, sir.
Okay, we dey here.
Okay. So the second is the heat map, highlight tables, symbol maps, maps, pie charts, horizontal bars, stack bars, side by side bars, tree maps, circle views, side by side circles, lines, lines discrete, then dual lines, area charts, area chart, continuous, that is discrete. I've explained the difference between discrete and continuous. Dual combination, which is like donut, line chart with column, and you have the scatter plots, and you have the histogram, okay, and then you have the box and whisker plots, then you have the Gantt view, you have the bullet graphs, and then you have the pack bubbles. There's no donut chart here.
Mm.
So let's do this. The first thing is let's look for regions. Region. Where is it? Okay, this is it. Take your region. Sorry. Take your region. Add it to columns. Remember, when I was treating Microsoft Excel, Introduction to Excel, I remember talking about primary and secondary keys. Anybody join that class? Anybody remembers? Primary and secondary keys or primary and secondary columns?
Yes.
Good. And I remember saying that when we talk about um, primary columns, we're actually talking about the independent column. And then secondary columns are actually the dependent column. So in this case, when you are trying to describe your visual, always remember, please, that you are also concentrating on primary and secondary columns or data sets. In this case, if you see what have been going on so far, we have been using a particular type of column amongst our dimensions and measures. Who can tell me the name of that column? Throughout our revenue by state, revenue by month, revenue by age, quantity, discount, percent, and now the one I intend to do now, we have been using a particular type of column as our primary column of analysis. So we are going to import that knowledge into this Tableau. So who can tell me? Anyone in
I
the
think we'll
comments?
be using the revenues. I don't know if that's what you mean, but we'll be using the revenue data
No,
mostly.
it's not quantity ordered. Total. They are total. That's the revenue. The total, we don't have a revenue column. We have a total column, right? So, but when we are naming it, remember, we are analyzing. So we need to use our analytical mindset to provide a solution to our analysis. So I've been using our total column. So that is what we are going to use again. So let's proceed. We're going to take our total, drag it and drop it at rows. So now we have this. Okay. So we want to change this. We are not interested in bar charts anymore. We want to divorce the charts. Let's choose pie charts. So now we have this and it's looking so very small. So how do we make it bigger? How do we make it bigger? We
We
simply
expand it
go
now.
to Senator, you are
Mi-
back. I like the way you answer my question. So
Good evening, sir.
you remind me of people who say, I'm looking for a job. Senator's response will be, go and find work now.
So you click on it and drag now. You can expand it by doing that.
Click on it.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I want to click and then I drag. It's not working.
It will work from my end, sir.
Anyway, some people will just come to where they have standard and then click on entire view. And that should give you something at the middle and not too close to the edge and not too far apart the other edge. So this should work. But it's looking so bland, you know. We need to make this more interesting. So what do? We are now going to drag the regions under the max tape, under the max label. We are going to drag the region, drag it down to label. Um, Sorry, let me undo that. On Good. Do it like that. Drag it down to labels, and then the sum total. Also drag it down to label. Please make sure you press your control key as you are dragging. If not, what happened to me in 1934 will happen to you. So when you are done, now
Sir,
we
please,
can see the labels.
sir,
West,
please come
Midwest.
again with how you expanded the pie chart, please. How you made it bigger.
Just come here. Initially, it was on
Okay,
standard. Okay.
okay,
Go to
okay. You change it to
take it
entire
to
view. Okay.
entire view. Good. Now the thing is that instead of all this revenue, been hearing of revenue, plenty money. What if we want to see it in percentage? What if we want to see the revenue in percentage? So all we need to do now is do a quick table calculation. And where do we find the quick table calculation? We can find it under the sum total. So let's open any of the first one and see if we can find it. Okay, yeah, it's right here. So we have quick table calculation. Then you choose what? Let's say percent of total.
Percent of total, yeah.
Instead of having all these big numbers, you just want to see their percentage under quick table calculation. So percent of total. Is it showing? It's not showing. So that means we need to check the second one and do the same thing. Is it showing? Not showing. So what does that mean? We are going to drag this to level and then it will show 17%. Then we can perfect. I've removed the other one. I discovered that I actually added total to the label chart twice. That's why I'm able to have this twice. So I had to remove the first one. Do you all understand how I got to this point? Because I'm moving on.
Yes. How did you remove the total from the label, sir?
Just drag it and throw it away.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
According to Senator. Just drag and throw it away. Now we discover, like I said, the donut chart is not on our, it's not part of the Excel, or sorry, the Tableau list of charts. So how do we do it? How do we create it? So we are going to create, remember I told you guys that we're going to be looking at calculated fields. But before we go into calculated fields, let us ask our brother in Christ the meaning of calculated field. Why are you wasting time? Okay, it's like I'll not open it today. Should I reload or okay? All right, good. So we're going to do this. We're going to ask. I am doing this intentionally, guys, because I feel at this point in your journey, there are certain tools that you have to necessarily start using. I am a knack for technology. You see all those people that call themselves voiceover artists.
Yes.
AI has taken over. If I want a voiceover artist to speak in Russia and talk about the health tech is in Russia, I don't need to pay anyone in Russia to talk about the health tech is for me, like a human being. All I need, I can I can edit the color of your ear I want, the color of your hair, the voice, if it's thick or not. I can edit anything, put them together, and then I could simply record my voice and then tell the AI to use my voice, but present it in Russia. I don't know how to speak Rus, but using that AI tool, it's going to use my voice, and then I'll be speaking in Russia or Germany or French. So what happens to those voiceover artists who didn't see any need of upskilling? What happens to their job? Because everybody now would probably want to download one software or the other, and they'll be using artificial intelligence to to promote their software or their business or their company. So that is why it's very important. AI may not replace a lot of jobs, but it will definitely replace people who do not know how to use AI. I just felt I should share that. So as I'm using ChatGPT, if you are not okay using this, it's not always you can see all of the limitations, so you don't always trust it. But at least it can give you a quick response to whatever issue you have. So I need someone to quickly read the first two paragraphs. Quickly, please. Please take a, you could either take a note or listen.
In Tableau, should I go ahead?
Go ahead, yeah.
In Tableau, a calculated field is a new field that you create by performing calculations on existing fields in your data set. It allows you to create customized calculations, transformations, aggregations, and local expressions to derive new insights from your data. Calculated fields are created using formulas or expressions that combine functions, operators, and field references. These formulas can be as simple as basic arithmetic operations or as complex as advanced statistical calculations. Some common use cases for calculated fields include pom-pom, aggregations, data transformation, conditional logic, etc.
Yeah. This guy is like you were a class rep in your secondary school. Or you were a friend of one class rep? All right, thank you very much. There is something I need us to pay attention to. Calculated fields do not exist if you do not have an existing data set. Let me repeat that.
Yes.
Calculated fields do not exist or they are totally meaningless if you do not have an existing data set. For you to derive any calculated field, you need to have an existing data set that you can derive something from. For instance, in Power BI, okay, we have new DAX expressions. You cannot build a DAX expression from nothing. You need to call in the names of certain columns or tables for your DAX expression to make sense. For instance, DAX expression equals to sum, bracket open. You could call out the name of a column or the name of a table, and comma, you call in the second table you want to submit, and then bracket close. Isn't it simple? There are other DAX expressions like if else expressions in a Power Query editor. You also have the if expression, of course. You have the count if. Basically, you have a couple of other expressions in Power BI. But in Tableau, when we talk about calculated fields, we are also talking about a little bit mathematical or arithmetical aspect of Tableau. So you cannot work, I repeat, with a calculated field if you don't have an existing data set. So some of the things it can help us do is aggregations. It can help us to do the calculations like sum, average, counts, and so on. It can help us transform data, okay, by applying certain mathematical principles or operations. There's this thing called conditional logic, which we are going to use. We have already used filter function. That was yesterday. That was an example of calculated field. String manipulations, concatenating fields. For instance, if you go to your Power BI, your Tableau, keep mixing this up. If I click, let me see. If I click on age and I click on create, can you see something like group? Hello?
Yes,
Can
we
you see
can see
something
group.
like group? Good. So
Yes, sir.
grouping in Tableau is like concatenation. For instance, if I want to group discount amount and discount percentage in the same table, I can do that using the create group feature. You don't want to see it if you drag the discount amount and discount percent, which now becomes one single table or column, that is something similar to the merge query in Power BI. Did you guys treat merge query on append queries?
Yes, sir.
Good. So the grouping is something similar to merge queries or append queries in Power BI in such a way that one table, I hope everybody here understands what I'm explaining by merge or append queries. Anyway, this is not Power BI, but I'm assuming that there are some questions in the comment section. I don't know if they have been attended to. Agatha said, how did I get the percent? Agatha, did you get the understanding now? Is she still here at all? Israel, you asked this question. Do you understand it now? Yeah, Agatha, if you are here, do you understand how I got the percent? Okay, she said yes. All right, that's fine. What was I saying? I just came and the questions kind of distracted me. What was I saying? Where did I stop?
I think we are talking about grouping and the comparing it with Power BI. You know how it looks like concatenation and all that. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any female on this call? Any live this live chat? Do we have any female?
Theodora is a lady now.
Theodora, are
Theodora
you
and
here?
Amarachi.
So is Amarachi.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Are you female or you identify as female?
I'm female.
You're
Fully
female.
female.
All right. When I no blame you when I ask some of these questions, huh? When you travel and experience life, before you toast babe, you go ask the babe whether the babe na babe before you go enter one
Now crazy
chance.
worry them.
Oh my God, the things I've seen in these my eyes, eh? So I just explained calculated fields, and I hope that is very, very clear. And let's go back to ChatGPT again. So we understand aggregations, data transformation, conditional logic, string manipulations. We get that one. Concatenation, that is exactly what happens. And we have date calculations. I hope we'll come to a point where I can take you guys in how to calculate for dates in our Tableau. Right. So let's go right ahead. What we're going to be doing now is we want to create a donut chart. And for us to do that, we need to create a calculated field. So how do we do that? So click on the drop down at the top and then make sure you click on calculated field. Can you see that, please?
Yes.
Click on calculated
Yes, we
field.
can see.
Then you are going to see this dialog box will come out. Please, before you create a calculated field, always confirm whether the data or the data set that have been called out is the one you want to create calculated field for. Tableau is that wise. So now you can see it's showing you that this calculated field that you're about to create is for this data set. I have to mention this because sometimes when you are working with the paid version of Tableau and you are working with a particular company, you see where my cursor is, the data. You see this data?
Mm.
Yes.
And you see that we have two types of Tableau sales raw data. This is the first
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
This is the one we are treating now. This is the one I opened some time ago. It didn't work and I left it. So this is where you'll be seeing a list of so many data sets. It could be up to 15 depending on what your project is like. So before you create a calculated field, please confirm from the dialog box if the data set you are creating in for is the one that is showing you. So now you can see Tableau sales raw data. That is the one we want to create. So we want to rename it to be our zero. Want to rename it our zero axis. And then I want to just put my zero right here. It says the calculation is valid. Then you click on apply, then you click on OK. All right. So now that we are done, let's look for where this the axis is. It's right here under the measures. Okay. So you are going to click on the zero axis, drag it all the way to rows. Sorry, let me do that. Drag it all the way down to rows. Perfect. So now it's looking so very small. We are wondering what happened. So what we are going to do this time around is that we are going to click on it, drag, and still drop it again on rows. Okay, control, click, and then drop. Perfect. Make sure you press your control key, then click and drop again, and then you are going to see this. Have you tried that? You people should ask questions now. Oh. No be when I don't reach heaven now, you say, let me show you. Let me start again. Okay, you don't understand the zero axis. Let me do it again.
It's telling me the zero axis is invalid. My calculation is invalid. I don't know. When
Okay.
I clicked on that create calculated field, where you
Uh-huh.
had calculation one, it didn't show the database beside it.
What do you mean by database?
You said it will show the database name beside where you changed
This one here.
calculation
Is it
one
this one?
to.
It didn't show you this one.
Yes, it didn't show me that. It's just empty.
What is it showing you?
Nothing. There's nothing there. Just that calculation one. And
Okay,
then
so
when I
if it's
change
not
it to
showing,
zero axis,
if it's not showing you, it means that that is the only data set you have. So no need of it telling you to choose which of them or to check which of them.
okay.
Mhm.
When I
It's
did
like
the zero axis and apply
just
and okay, it said invalid calculation or something.
put zero.
When I
Just
tried
write
to,
zero. Or if you can't put zero, just leave it. Don't put any zero. Just click on OK after renaming it. Let's see. Did it work? For those who didn't get these points, I'm going to undo everything and start again. Um, Let me undo. Please pay attention to what happened. This is where we stopped, Abby. This is to open calculated fields. Click on create calculated fields. Rename this to zero axis. Come to the body of the text and then type zero. When you type zero, click on apply and OK. I've already created that, so no need to type it. Click and OK. When I did that, I have a new measure here, which is called the zero axis. You see it, isn't it? So I'm going to drag it after creating the calculated field. I'm going to drag it, drop it on rows, and then my chart is going to become smaller. And then I want to click and drop it again. So I'm going to press the control key on my keyboard, press and hold it, then click the zero axis, click it, and then drag it, drop it again on rows. When I do that, the two of them appear this way. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Should we
so
proceed?
I'm still having that challenge. It's telling me invalid.
You
The
know what?
calculation zero is invalid.
Share your screen. Share your screen. Quickly. Let me see what you are doing. I see some people are having the same issue. So let's sort this out.
I'm sharing now, sir.
All right. Okay. All right, so create a calculated field. Rename it zero axis. Click on OK. You can put 0. No. Click on the arrow. No, don't worry. Click on the arrow on that 0 axis. Sorry, no, go back to the 0 axis. Click on the arrow facing downwards. Yeah, that arrow. Is anything opening up?
Yes. I have a cut, copy, edit, duplicate, rename, convert to discrete, convert to dimension, change data type.
I
There's
can't
some
see.
other thing.
Is your cursor moving, guys? Please, is his cursor moving from his?
Yeah, it's not moving.
Okay, it's moving
It's
now.
moving.
So open it up again.
It's open, sir. It's open. Can you see it now?
No, I can't. Just click on edit. If it open,
Okay,
click
yeah.
on edit.
I've clicked on
Now
edit.
put 0. Let's see.
Okay, I should delete the axis and
No,
just
no, no,
zero.
no, no. 0 axis. Then in the body of the text, type 0. Number 0.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
no, no, no,
number
no.
zero.
Like O
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
0,
I've
not
done it.
O. Good. It
Yeah.
says the
Okay, it's saying the
calculation is
calculation is
valid.
valid.
Down,
Okay.
click on OK. It worked now. This is what I was doing.
Yeah.
You
Okay. I
didn't put
didn't
the
I didn't
0.
get the
I had
part of
asked
putting the
you.
number zero.
Yeah, just
Okay.
remove it. I had asked you if you put the 0. You said yes.
Okay.
You
Sorry,
need
I
to
thought you
put a
meant the
number
name, the
because
zero.
it's called calculated field for a reason. Without
Okay.
you calculating anything, it's not going to work.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So can we proceed?
Right on, sir.
Yeah.
All right, Payo said he's just working now. Olabisi, that's a very good question. Just follow me, yeah. You will soon see why we name it as 0 axis. You can put your name. You can put Olabisi axis. It doesn't matter.
And Akude is complaining that her own is not dragging. Hold down your control button. When you press control and drag, it will drag.
Olabisi, I just responded to your question, okay? It's 0 axis because we probably just put 0. So we just named it as 0 axis. That's because without that calculated field, we are not going to achieve what we want to achieve. It's just like you asking me, why did we put equals to before we put sum and then bracket open and close? It's just the way it is. Olabisi, why are you Olabisi? It's your name. All right. So let's proceed. So this is how we got to this point. Press your control key, drag the first one, and then drop on the same rows, and then you have this double or dual axis. Now that you have two charts, and two of them are actually into two charts. For instance, you can see we have sum 0 here. We have the second sum 0 here. Can you see that? Two sum zeros. Hello, can you see that?
Yes, we can see that, sir.
So the first one, the first sum 0, if I want to edit this, let me click on it. Can you see? I clicked on the first one, all these options came in. If I want to edit it, this is where I edit it. This is the first one. So if I click on the second, I want to edit, I'm editing the second one. That is how it works. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to remove everything in the second chart, which is this one. So what am I going to do? I'm going to remove this. That's how I remove it. Going to remove this. Going to remove this. Going to remove this. Going to remove this. So all I have is just an empty pie chart. Having done that, please, I don't want to come back to this step. Do you all understood what I just did?
Yes.
Huh?
They said yes from the comment section, sir.
Okay, good. So you remove everything and then you
Yes,
are
sir.
going to get this. Now, another step I want you to do is click on detail. This is the second max card. Remember, this is the first. And if you click on the first, all these details will remove, they are still there. That's why they are this colorful. Okay. The second one, none of them is there. So for the second one, click on the detail. What does it say? Detail, drag dimensions or measures here. So click on the detail. I don't know why it's not. Oh, sorry. I think, let me see. Chooks, try it on your end. Click on that detail. Let me see if it will come up.
Detail from the second one and from the empty one now, right?
Yes, click on it.
Okay.
Would others would open. I don't know why. Did anything come up?
It's the same thing, sir. It's not opening.
It's not.
Nothing came up, sir.
All right.
Nothing, no reaction.
Just leave it. In that case, click on the first one. Click on size and make sure you make this bigger than the first one. Bigger than the
The empty
second
one.
chart. Yeah. Let me put this here. Or let me put this at the middle. Click on size, then adjust it, make it bigger than the second one. When you are done, come to the second chart. All right, right click. All right. Come to where you have the zero axis, the first one. Click here and then click on dual axis. You are now going to see this. So when you are done, this will merge with the first one. When you are done, come here, change the color to white. Viola. Now we have a donut chart.
Wow.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So now we
How
want
did
to
you
remove.
change the color, mister? Just
Just
the
come
color
here,
change. Okay.
click on
Okay.
color, click on white.
Okay.
So let's check our internet and confirm if that is a donut chart. Now see how I dey run magic for this thing.
Certainly, yes. It's a donut chart.
You see now? It's a donut chart.
Fundamental.
So we need to remove this zero axis because it has performed its use. Olabisi, can you now see now that it has performed its use? So we have to remove it. Just come here and then uncheck show header. It's gone. Remember, we still have some grid lines. So we need to remove them.
Shall I do that
You
on
need
check again?
to-
Let me see, sir, please.
Okay. Come here, right click on your axis, click on check show header.
Okay.
Then come to your body of your text, right click on format, click on your lines,
None.
and then grid lines none. Grid lines, they're all gone now. Okay. So now, can somebody tell me what should we rename this chart? Given what we have done now, what should we rename the chart?
This is percent of sales by region now.
Good. Percent of sales by region. So guys, if you want to make your chart bigger without doing all that, and you can see I have it on entire view, but I don't love the size. I want it to feel, to feel the whole place. So what are we going to do? Press the control key on your keyboard and then the arrow key facing your right hand side. That should make it become bigger. Can you see? It's big, 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 and big, and big. I can also come here if I want to change the color of the regions. I can come here, click on color, edit the colors. Maybe let's say for the Midwest, I want to change another color. So I'll probably let me see. Most of the time, these are actually assigned in a way. Let's see. I bet this is not important, but it's good that I showed you guys. You can choose other colors here, maybe red, green, and gold. and choose them. Assign your colors, whatever it is. If you don't love this color, that is how you go about it. So that's how you get your donut chart. So we are going to rename this to be what?
Percentage by cell by region.
Re- percentage of sales by region. Click enter. So we are going to go back to our notebook. All right, so I'm going to insert number 4. Revenue per region. So let's look at one last one for today. Go to another sheet. I hope you guys are still here.
Yes.
Total
Yes,
by
we are still
region,
here, sir.
sales by region, regional sales percentage. Yeah, I love this. Let me choose that one. Regional sales percentage. Revenue per region by percent, but in our charts, I love that one. Regional sales percentage. Regional sales percentage. All right, let's look at one last one. Then tomorrow we'll look at how we can create a dashboard using Power Tableau, and then we'll navigate Tableau Public, and I'll show you a few other things on Tableau Online Service, and hopefully, I hope I'm able to cover that. So our task number 6, we are going to look at I'm not going to name it now. I'm just going to leave it for now. And then I'll allow you guys to name it. Let's do this. So there's something we've not looked at. Let me look at let's look at gender. Drag this to rows. Let's look at category. I want to drag this to rows. Perfect. And just this is to show you guys another way of Just give me a minute, guys. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
we can
So
hear you, sir.
the next thing we want to do is we want to look at our independent column. Who remembers again? We mustn't always forget it. We mustn't always
The
forget it.
total,
Who
the
remember
total sales.
the total? So, Oga Chooks, is that you?
Na me, sir, no be Oga or na chooks.
Ah, who tell you no be Oga? Drag total all the way to columns. And there you can see this new chart. We've not explored this before. So from this chart, we can see that females spend more money on buying mobile phones and tablets. This one is real life. True, they do. While men also spend a lot of money on phones and tablets. Interesting realization. But if we look at appliances, the data, they all seem to be similar if we want to look at it. We have gender, category, and then the amount, the total amount spent. But this chart is not presentable. You and I can see that it is not presentable at all. Because if you remember our audience, who are we presenting this data to? Who are we presenting this data to? The visuals to?
Senior management and colleagues as well.
No. That is the first audience type that you must not forget when visualizing. Who are we presenting the data to? Not decision makers. Salesperson. Thank you, Olabisi. Olabisi. What can I do for this Olabisi? Sales department. Thank you, Pius. That is what we're treating. Miracle. Yes, correct. We are visualizing this data for salespeople. If you carry this type of visuals and present it to salespeople, you will make them confused because look at it now. Females, they get more on this. Males, the same thing. So they are wondering, okay, which one is the highest now? How do we know what product we should focus on for any of the gender? So you can see that the chart is not presentable, right? The column, the category column is repeated twice. You can see appliances, beauty and grooming, blah, blah, blah. So we need to try to adjust this. Okay. So we want to
Yes, sir.
see if we can change, we want to see if we can change this to what is called a butterfly chart. To what is called a butterfly chart. Now, this is not part of Tableau's built-in charts as well. So how do we do that? Again, we want to create our calculated field come, click on create calculated fields. And then make sure that your data set, if you have numerous ones, make sure the one showing you is the one you're working with. And then you are going to call this, rename this to be female revenue. Okay. Now, this particular one, calculation is involved too. For female revenue, we are going to use the if statements. We are going to say if, it's already there, if the gender is here, okay, or better still, you can just type it out. If gender equals to F. Now let's look at our data source again. Let's quickly look at our data source. Let's look at the sales, Tableau sales data. Okay, why? Let me cancel this. Refresh. Let's wait for it to refresh. Is it loading? Is it loading? Is it loading? All right. Click on updates now. I just want you guys to see. All right, so let's scroll down. This is our data, the one we are working with, right? So you see gender, isn't it? You see
Yes.
gender is F and M. Gender is F and M. If you open here, you are going to see that it's possible for us to create a calculated field out from here. You can even copy the values and all that. So that is what I am referring to. Let's go back here. So let's do that again. Create a calculated field. Rename it to be what? Female revenue. We want to know how much females brought into this company. And we are going to start it with our if statements. And so we say if the gender, okay, equals to that F I just showed you guys, Then make sure that you total it. And then when you are done, end the calculation. That's what it means. Okay, then total. Sorry. You need to use the right measure. Good. Why is it containing if gender? I need to put this in small letter. Right, so calculation is valid now. I hope you people notice what happened. So this is it. If the gender is F and which is female, then add everything for that F. And when you are done, end your calculation. That's what it means here. Are we together?
Yes.
Good. That's how we get the calculated field for only female revenue. Meaning that if the gender is female, then we want the revenue for F. Then I'm going to click on OK. So we now have female revenue right here on the screen. Look at the cursor.
Yeah.
So can someone take me through how do we create a male revenue using the same process?
Okay, so we create a calculated field first.
Okay. Create a
Meanwhile,
calculated.
Senator is asking that you add him back and name it male revenue. Yeah.
Okay. And name it what?
Male revenue.
Good. Male revenue. So what is going to be our calculation or function?
If gender
Okay.
equals M in quote, single
Okay.
quote, then
Then
total
okay.
and
Good. Calculation is valid. Then you click on OK. Right now that we have our female and male revenue under our measure, the next thing we want to do is that we have to remove this total from the columns. Okay. So we have to remove this total from the columns and also remove this gender because we don't need it anymore. So now you have only the category. Now you have to drag the female revenue, drag them to columns. That makes a whole lot of sense. Sorry, move this. Drag its female revenue to columns. So we now know this is the revenue brought in by females, and you drag the male revenue the same way to columns. So now you see there's a difference. The first time we had a category appearing twice.
yes.
Now we have them appearing just once, but we have female and male revenue appearing differently. Can you see that now?
Yes, sir.
So now you make the visuals very easy for the salesperson to understand. So they don't need to scroll down, see revenue for male, and then scroll up, see revenue for female. It's kind of confusing. But when you put the category on the same pane, and then you make the differences in male and female gender to show, then you are up for a better visual.
But sir, from this data set, it's obvious everything are the same, both male and female.
Oh well, I guess so. We probably can think so. So there's another way to do this. We could just maybe, if we want to emphasize on the female revenue, we can just decide to show the label. And you see that they are actually the same.
Yeah.
They're actually the same. So probably not need this.
Yeah, the fact they are the same is also an insight.
Yeah, the fact exactly. Your job is not to question why they are the same. Your job is to show that they are the same because the data does not belong to you. It is somebody's business. So if equal number of people came into your store, which is very unlikely anyway, but let's use this as a learning curve. So I'm going to have to stop here, all right? Because the butterfly chart I want to show you guys, and then the dashboard, I want to leave that for tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Are you guys still here?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we're still here. Oh, full ground.
Hello, are you still here?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We are still here, sir. Yeah, we are here.
Okay. So we are going to continue tomorrow, same time.
Thank you, sir.
Let me prepare for my next section in 30 minutes.
Okay.
All right, mate.
Okay, sir.
Thank you
Well done,
very
sir.
much.
Have fun.
Any
Thank
question,
you very much,
please?
sir.
Let's check the chat. I'm coming. Okay, no questions, sir.
Bye.
All right. So see you guys tomorrow. Have
Thank
a lovely
you.
weekend.
Thanks a bunch, sir. And you too.
You too, sir.